Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at how you can complete the Time Traveler's Challenge in the Fighting Legend Goku event, otherwise commonly referred to as the Legendary Goku event, with only a free-to-play team. So it's a fairly simple concept nowadays. I think most people will have seen a couple of my videos. If not, obviously you can click on the playlist and you can enjoy watching all of the challenges. But essentially, the Fighting Legend Goku event, when it first came out, was probably the hardest event in the game for a long time. It was also the first real long-form content in the game, content that couldn't be cleared in 4 or 5 turns, which was kind of like where SBR was sitting at the time. And so yeah, it was definitely like a step in this direction of doing longer content, and I think, not that that's bad, but I think it definitely did affect the game going forward, and I think it affected how a lot of people evaluated units. Stacking defense became like a priority. Like if a unit could stack defense, they were immediately better than a lot of other units, and that's kind of still remained the same in a lot of cases. Most players still just like units that infinitely get stronger. The notion of a unit constantly improving helps to lower the curve later on in the event. So the Time Travelers team that we're using is a pretty decent one. It's honestly, in terms of the free-to-play kind of aspect, it's built pretty well. It's kind of built on the back of the Dragon Ball Heroes collab free-to-play units, which I think is nice and fun, at least for me. It's always nice to be able to use the Heroes units. I personally enjoy them a lot, and so for me it's definitely, how I can say, like a fun or a more fun team to run. So you got a couple units that we're using here. So I think the most notable unit that we're using, or at least the one that I think most players will be concerned of, obviously the lead. So we're using Super Hearts as the friend lead. Generally speaking, just a pretty good unit, super reliable in terms of how he functions. Essentially just a very, very good pseudo support in his base form. Then when you transform him, he becomes quite a big damage dealer, depending on if your rotation is full crossover category units. Now, we do have that, and they have to be extreme as well. But we also have a superclass unit here or there, so it is a little bit more difficult to just get all of the prerequisites, I should say. But yeah, in general, I would say probably super happy with his performance overall. Just kind of floated him around and really focused too much on him. Then we have the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegito. Obviously just a great unit in general. I think a lot of players will agree. His EZA is great, he is great. Yeah, he's solid. I would say he's a very, very reliable, very fun unit to use. Obviously his kit is conducive to this event, with the fact that getting his 18 key means that you can proc his 12 key, which allows him to stack, or you can just get his 12 key and stack straight up. So really not too much of a problem. He's going to kind of be running alongside the Kumba unit, who's also a stacking unit, but he's a bit different. When he gets hit, he gains 50% defense, which is obviously super duper helpful, and also he also gains the ability to fire an additional super attack if he gets hit while he's in the first slot. So he's going to be, if you get him to the first slot relatively early on, he stacks very quickly, and just in general is a pretty high, pretty helpful unit to use. So had a lot of fun using him alongside some of the others. And then after that you kind of get to the lead that we're using, which is the Strength Zamasu Goku Black unit. I think overall a very decent unit that came out at the time. Not so good anymore with how the game's metrics are kind of moving, but at the time he was pretty good. His final blow mechanic is really solid. You do want to kind of smack out a couple units with his final blow mechanic, just so you can have a bit more control and not have him take so much damage. He's still gonna be fine. Like, he is genuinely a pretty good unit. I don't have like a massive issue using him. I think, you know, for me at least, he is what he is. You know, I think he is like just a unit that is incredibly solid back in the day, and now has just aged a bit, and so you do need to kind of cater a little bit around. But then that's kind of the floating units. The final floating unit we have is the Poutine. Obviously, a larger portion of her abilities are actually locked behind the enemy being stunned and sealed, etc. But she's still more than fine defensively in the situations where we're not necessarily, like all the conditions being met. So yeah, I think overall, I would say it's pretty solid as a floater. She obviously also provides some support as well, which I think a lot of players appreciate. And yeah, just in general, I'm pretty happy with like the overall functionality of the team, how everything comes together, how it all works. It works well. The functionality is good. I just think there is a tiny bit of catering that needs to be done, especially to the strength Zamasu Goku Black. So yeah, overall I would say obviously a great unit. The other one we're using is the Arms unit. So we are using the Arms, who I think is also very similar to the Great Saiyaman 4, in that just a very reliable unit, very simple, good support capabilities, builds up defense very quickly. So yeah, generally speaking, pretty nice, nice stuff. Yeah, nice stuff, I want to say. Yeah, for me, on a scale of 1 to 10, probably would rank this one at like a 4 on difficulty if you have the Dragon Ball Heroes units, who you can access via the Portal of Memories. So if you are missing any units, definitely pick these guys up. They got their easy A's recently, but yeah, they just look solid. They just look very, very good, you know. I don't think there's anything wrong with them, and yeah, I think you should definitely consider picking them up. They do a great job. Vegito does a great job. The whole team just does really well. So for me, I'm very happy with this kind of performance. I think when you look at units like this, when you look at teams like this, anytime it's a smooth run and you're trying to do these free-to-play challenges, I think it's always appreciated when the team is just so simple to make work and just generally has a pretty solid time. But yeah, that is basically going to be it. Obviously, we're just clearing up Goku right now, which is great. We do have a little bit of, how can I put it? A little bit of a damage issue, especially later on. But some or quite a few of our units are able to crit and have been stacking attack, like Kumba and Great Saiyaman 4. So yeah, in general, more than fine. It's just, yeah, getting to that stage is just a little bit long. It's probably one of the longest stages. Not that it was bad, it was just a longer event to do free to play. But yeah, that is basically going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, I will see you guys in the next one, of course. But until then, bye.